Okay, this video is me showing you the entirety of the kit for Hydra Boss. It has been leaked. This is the entire kit right here. We're going to break it down. He's basically immune to everything. 90% of poison damage, not going to work. HP burn, not going to work. Immune to every form of CC. Immune to HP exchange, balancing, cooldown decrease, turn meter, HP burn damage is reduced. Even things like Giant Slayer, War Master damage is reduced. Reflect damage is reduced. Basically everything. So we're going to talk about this and break it down a little bit. And also you can find this video here. This is Ash Raid Shadow Legends video. I'll have it in the pinned comment. You can go to it, watch the video in its entirety if you want to hear them talk about it. And there's also a 42-minute video here. This is just the point where it shows the kit. That's what I'm going to talk about today, is the kit alone. If you want to see the rest of his video where he talks about all the other things coming in the update, I'll have that video for you. With that being said, let's get going on the kit. Didn't take very long after the tease got solved and we know the Hydra's coming. Take a look. I was correct. Now we know for a fact during Ash Raid Shadow Legends interview with Cirilla, they leaked the entire kit of the Hydra Boss. Take a look, and it looks like I was right. It does in fact have all of the affinities for each head. So it is all 4 of the affinities. Now, moving on here, he has a variety of moves. He attacks an enemy, 50% chance of placing a fear debuff for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be blocked or resisted. After the first attack, then attacks all enemies under fear or true fear debuff. This is sort of like Michelle's, where he attacks all leech afterwards. Whenever the head is decapitated, removes all fear and true fear debuffs from all enemy champions. Then places a perfect veil buff for 2 turns on 2 random enemies. So you can basically remove the fear by cutting off one of the heads. I'm sure the head grows right back. It is a Hydra after all. Now he has another move, the A2 here, which attacks all enemies, decreases or damage increases by 25% for each debuff under each enemy. I think we can get a better version of it right here, easier to read. And then when attacked by enemies not under a veil or perfect veil buff, places a true fear debuff on them for 1 turn. This debuff cannot be blocked or resisted. Decreases the damage taken from poison by 90%, decreases all damage Hydra heads take from AoE by 10%, damage that scales for max HP damage like Royal Guard and Code Heart. It takes a reduced amount of damage. I'm trying to get to that bit of it here. I haven't actually had a chance to read all of this. I'll put a link to Ash's video right in the top of the pinned comment. Recommend watching his. We're only talking about the Hydra Boss in this video, but they cover a lot more during their 42-minute interview. Look at here. Damage from skills. That's damage from skills. I can't speak. Its scale based upon enemy max HP cannot exceed 10% of the head's max HP when attacking this head. Damage taken in 1 tick from HP burn debuffs cannot exceed 20,000 HP. Damage taken from reflected damage, the War Master Mastery or Giant Slayer cannot exceed 50,000 per attack. So basically, they are removing everything except for very particular things. Pure damage like Baron should do pretty good. Basically defense ignoring damage, just flat burning damage. I'm trying to figure out exactly what else there is. Let's continue. It's obviously immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block active skills, block passive skills, fear, true fear, and petrification, which is completely new. We don't even know what petrification does yet. It's also immune to HP exchange, HP balancing, cooldown decreasing, and turn meter reduction effects. So he's basically immune to literally everything. That's it. That's what we have. It's that simple. The passive makes the person immune to basically every form of damage other than just normal damage. You get a true fear on you that's unresistible and unblockable. So no matter if you have block debuffs or anything, you're going to have that every time you attack somebody when you're not under a veil or perfect veil. So Duchess comes to mind. You probably want somebody that is able to do AoE veil. Inquisitor Shamal comes to mind because from what I can tell, he actually removes true fear, and it's not like he blocks it from happening. It's when true fear's on somebody, he automatically removes it. I got that from looking at the comments right here. Look, Inquisitor Shamal coming in hot. Someone left a comment. You can look here. Every time this boss uses his A1, they would just remove them, not block or resist, and boost the party's turn meter. I didn't actually look at the guy's kit, but I assume this is correct, which means Inquisitor Shamal should be absolutely a banger for this. So this is difficult, I think, is probably the words that come to mind. This does not look easy. This looks difficult. I think they are definitely trying to remove all of the ways in the game that we already have of beating things. I think it's probably a hard job for them to make new content, and I'm struggling whether or not I'm mad about this. I don't think I am, to be honest, because here's the thing. Yeah, poisons aren't going to work. HP isn't going to work. Cold Heart isn't going to work. All these things aren't going to work. And that does force us to use whatever mechanic they want us to use on their new boss to beat this, right? People like Inquisitor, Shamal, etc. And it's going to force... It's going to force people to not use what they already have built, basically forcing people to build new things. Now, I don't believe that content that comes to the game should always be 100% conquerable without doing literally anything to our account. So there is an argument to be made for having some of the passives block things. I myself, I do find myself frustrated that things like War Master and Giant Slayer don't exceed damage, because one of the teams I was personally really looking forward to using was the all charge team with like Landicus, Longbeard, just pure charging with Relentless. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I've showcased that team many times on this channel because I really like that team. It's just fun. And I was hoping, and it's not necessarily even good, and I was hoping that that might actually do something. Well, removing Giant Slayer and War Master procs kind of, removes the entire purpose of this already not very good team. So I think what they're trying to do from looking at this is basically make it where this boss has X amount of HP and you basically just have to do the flat amount of damage. So flat, large scale damage dealers look good to me, but they also look like they're going to have to be under Veil or Perfect Veil, or you have Inquisitor Shamal or some way to deal with the True Fear or Fear debuffs, because that's going to be an issue as well. Really excited to see this coming into the game, but I hope you guys realize there's going to be no cheese tactics, because they removed literally everything. I mean, AoE damage gets a nerf, poison gets a nerf, HP burn gets a nerf, Giant Slayer, War Master, reflect damage, max HP base damage. He's immune to literally every form of everything. So that's interesting. Also, petrification being shown here in Ash's video means that there is in fact new debuffs coming, and by time this Hydra rolls around, we probably will have a petrification debuff in the game already, I would think. Or else it would be weird that they have that before, you know, they add the petrification thing. So that comes to mind. Maybe normally with new mechanics like this, they get done in a fusion. I'm willing to bet the next fusion probably has petrification, just if we read between the lines. Now that we know the kit, how do I feel about this? I feel like this is probably going to force a very handful of champions to work. It looks like that's what the other people are saying too. If you look at it, I think somebody made a good point here, right here. He says, you absolutely need small certain segment of champions, and I don't like that. I agree with him, actually, because if you look at it, basically everything doesn't work. That's what I was saying about my charge team's not going to work. Unless the charge just flat damage with people that just do a bunch of flat damage is going to be good. Also, probably change the masteries. I mean, we can change War Master to, what is it? Helm Smasher or whatever. You know, the ones for greater crit damage are the ones where you ignore more defense. So ignoring defense might be a little bit better. People like King Garog might be a little bit better because he has AoE as well as ignoring defense. Also, the AoE decreased damage is only 10% reduced. So while it is reduced, it's only 10%. So that might still be something that is viable as well. But people like Royal Guard, they're still getting gutted. It's a bummer because Royal Guard, Cold Heart, Armor Guard, people like that are kind of just getting worse with time, not better. But let me know what you think of this kit in the comments down below. I'm going to do another video covering some of the other things. So make sure to like the video to help me out. Comment if you want me to know exactly what your message is. And subscribe if you just want to see this channel again. Love y'all, and let's continue with another video.